Jai Shri Krishna to everybody.
Sitaram, Jai Shri Krishna.
Good. So what we will do today we will do continue where we left off last week. And last week, for those who joined, would have been in a complete with a wonderful session. Even up to now, we are getting the feedback of how we are meant to look at our life. Our life, or the people who we are from Bangladesh, from South Asia, we have a particular divine way of living, which some way along the line we got mixed up and we got confused as to our real identity. And in order to really appreciate what has been done to the whole of our what we call Aryan heritage, we have to look at invasion. We have to look at the advent of Buddhism. We had to look at the advent of Brahmanism and how it detracted us from being this noble, what we call creed, or this noble race of people whom we are, that we were naturally attuned to Bhagwan, and somewhere along the line we were detracted. Just to give you a little bit of background, before colonialism, all of India, we only believed that, we prayed to the various forms of Bhagwan. We would pray to Mata Kali, Mata Durga, Mata Parvati. And it is normal for us to see God in everyone. And this is the essence and the secret of the people whom we are, and which the other parts of the people who wants to destroy our culture cannot see. They want to deprive your birthright, that you're given this right to free your own self and to emancipate your own self by your effort without the effort of no one but yourself. This is in conflict with what we call the Abrahamic religion, where it said, your life is based on grace, and only if some person wants to, some person whom they sits on a chair somewhere wants you to what we call to be born again or to have freedom, that is that will. But our dharma is completely different. Bhagwan resides in us, and that is the source of our power. So what I will do now, we will start. Now we can start with some beautiful Om. 1 second. Let me just clear the screen. 1 moment. Close. Good. So let's clear the screen and let us start with some Om, and then we will do some nice mantras that I will share the screen. So let me share the screen now. 1 moment. Just 1 second while I share the screen. Yeah. Okay. So basically, today, by the grace of Bhagwan, we are going to at least work on changing our attitudes, changing our approach to life. So this life and this moment that we are in, once we know what we have to do, immediately we can become the greatest person that you have known. You can become the greatest person that you've known, and we can then know you as the greatest person that you have always wanted to be. So I started with saying, on which we will go down, that this is a simple concept of carrying your attitude with you. Attitude has many meanings, but when you question yourself, what is my attitude? What is my demeanor? What really identifies me and separates me from someone else? And these are all what we call your inborn traits or your divine traits. What are you known by? Now, because this question may not have been put to you, But the moment you're told that you have to define yourself, that you want to know in about when your time come to leave or throw off this body, what would you be defined as? So it's therefore important that we put our stalls out and we develop a right attitude. We can say, this person is best known by the fact that he's a God walking on earth. Everything about that person was noble. The way how they dress, the way how they walk, the way how they swagger, the way how they talk. It's something very special to each individual. So you have got to know what quality do you want to be remembered by. And this is part of our spiritual journey. Without knowing and without sitting back and defining yourself, you could be sending out the wrong signals to society. Let us say you could be a very antagonistic person. You could be a very quarrelsome person. You could be a very argumentative person. All of those are negative traits and not the traits that you want to advertise. So we will come to that as we go into our discussion tonight. We live in Kali Yuga, or we live in this period where people feel proud to say, look, I have insulted him so badly and I have belittled him to such an extent that he dare not show his face here anymore. And people are proud to have those negative qualities. And I trust that there is no one here tonight who would exhibit such a quality. Or if there are people that you next to you, for example, your children or your grandchildren that are growing with this attitude, then you will be the first one to teach them that that attitude leads to immense unhappiness. So even as I said, even death can't change your attitude, only you. And someone told me this week that there is an old Punjabi proverb that goes like this: you can never stop a dog from what's called swagging or wagging its tail, which means is that it's very important when we are dealing with our people who are close to us, whether they be friends, associates, brother, sister, husband and wife, that we know their real nature. And once you know the real nature, then you have a choice whether you want that relationship because it's not good for you, or you want that relationship because you want that relationship because it's good for you, or you want to discard that relationship because it's not good for you. So, my dear brothers, and uncles, aunties, my sisters, let us start tonight by reciting this beautiful mantra. And it is important that we don't recite many mantras, but we choose a mantra or two mantras that satisfy our need, and you meditate on the mantra. Only when you meditate on a mantra, you do dhyanam on a mantra, that you are likely to get the result of the mantra. So let us say this first mantra, Om Vishwani Deva, Savitar, Duritani Paraswa, Yad Bhadram Tana Aswa. So if we were to meditate on this mantra, we would put all our energies and we would say, O Supreme Energy, O Supreme Lord that resides outside and within me, source of all power, today I focus on you to remove all that what is within my environment and is not good for me. So where you have this word duritani, it means that which is not good for you. So unless you get rid of the bad qualities that you have inside you, you cannot take the advantage of the good qualities which is necessary for your survival and for your journey in this life. And I'm not using the term religious journey. And I'm not using the term godly journey because God doesn't need to come into this. But what needs to come into this is that if you do godly things or actions that are godlike, or you speak godlike, then you will get the godlike blessings. You will get the riches of this universe. You will get the calmness and the happiness that comes from behaving in a certain way. So let us go through this mantra, and I would like you to at least learn any one mantra, but what we call meditate on that mantra every day of your life. Let us start. Om Vishwani Deva Savitara Duretani Parasova Yad Bhadram Tana Asuva. Om Vishwani Deva. Oh Lord, please remove this fear that resides in my heart. Oh Lord, calm my being. Let my heart beat at a calm level. Let not malicious and malevolent thoughts flow in my mind. Oh Lord, protect my being from anything that is harmful. Oh Lord, let not my speech be injurious to any person. So this is the impact of this one line of this mantra. So if we're going to do dhyanam on this mantra, by time you meditate on this mantra, you will be amazed at the changes in your life. And when I say meditate, I mean we are talking of doing this mantra 1,000 times, 5,000 times, 10,000 times. If you do it, let us say, mind by mind, you can do it in maybe 1 hour. You can do as close as possible, maybe 500 or 600 at a very slow pace. But when you start to do it in your mind, doing 1,000 mantra can be done very quickly. But what I'm saying, you set out your stall on the basis of what is happening in your life. So the first thing you want is to have all troublesome things and all anxieties be taken away from you. So let us go through this mantra again. Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasua Yad Bhadram Tana Asua. Or you can choose to do the Gayatri mantra, which is the totality of all of the mantras, for it gives you protection, it removes the pains and sorrows, it bestows happiness, and it bestows what we call divine blessings of purity and adorability. One moment, let me make this bigger. So in doing this Gayatri mantra, you can focus, oh Lord, I'm having some unhappiness in my life. I cannot, my family and I are not getting on well. There is quarrels in the home. Oh Lord, at workplace, I'm not happy. My boss does not like me. Or we're in society, maybe you go to the mandir and somebody insults you. Lord, I'm having problems from all directions. Lord, let me be adorable. Lord, let bliss and happiness emanates from me. Then it matters not what party A or the third party are doing, because you would not be effective. You will become what we call unconquerable. So let us start. Gayatri mantra, let me make it a bit bigger. 1 second. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. A few more times. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Now your turn. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And let us recite each word of the mantra twice. Om Bhur Bhur Bhuva Bhuva Swa Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Varenyam Bhargo Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Dhiyo yo nah Prachodayat. And the whole mantra. Om Bhu Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Let us close our eyes now and we recite the mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And we do 3 ohms. We breathe in, take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, we recite the om. First, inhalation, exhalation now. Om, Om, Om. We go to mantra number 3. So you will have this in your chat on Monday. So then you can have the text of this mantra. But after, if you finish doing a havan, this mantra, you will place your hands over the flame and you will bless yourself. Now, when you're at home and you don't, and there's no havan, you light a deepam and then you meditate on Agni Bhagwan, and then as a representation of divine energies to which the flame represents, you are saying, "O Supreme Lord," not the Lord that resides outside alone, but this Lord that keeps your flame lighting within you. So you close your eyes, you can see the deepam, a lit at your navel, where your navel is. It's there permanently. There's also another source of energy or light at your heart. So let us meditate now, and let us ask the Supreme Lord, "Oh Lord, make my whole body healthy. Lord, give me a happy and a long life. Make me strong and remove from my body all ailments and weakness." So you can read it now. That's, "Oh Lord, make my body healthy. Give me a happy, long life. Make me strong. Remove from my body all ailments and weaknesses." The beauty with this, what we call, this is a prayer. "Lord, give me a happy life. Oh Bhagwan, make me happy and let me live long, but with health and strength. Oh God, let me not suffer any pains in my body. Let my arms be strong, my thighs be strong, my feet be strong. Let me have no knee pain, no hip pain, no back pain." So you are thanking the Lord and you are expressing a desire to your mind. So now when you tell your mind to, "I am only interested in being healthy," then you will be guided by your mind to do the healthy things. So no use you tell yourself, for example, "Look, I want to lose weight." That doesn't mean anything. You're not telling the mind anything, because that's not a command that the mind can accept, or any other command you may make. But the mind understand happiness. The mind understand healthy body. So when you tell the mind, "Oh Lord, Om Tanupa Agni Asi," Tan, which means this body, "Tanva me Pahi," "Oh Lord, oh Agni Bhagwan, oh Supreme Energy," now, because you're addressing what can make your body healthy. It is the energy of the heat within and the energy of the thought process that will guide you to have a happy life and to guide you to have a healthy body. Ayurdaya Gani, Ayurmedehi. Oh Lord, give me a happy and a long life. So let us say now you're engaging your mind every day. This is your prayer that you're having meditation every day. Oh Lord, give me a happy and a long life. Automatically, the mind will ensure that you're physically well. You have financial resources. You are given protection. You are given good children. So this mind will then create the life that you are commanding this mind to live. But you are not praying. This is the problem, which is the problem of maybe 99.999% of the world. We do not pray properly and ask ourselves to bless us with these gifts. We go to the mandir once a month and there is no focus on the mantra because you want to leave. The service has gone on for 5 hours or 4 hours. So there is no focus, no divine focus. So where this sessions comes in to say, well, look, you can do it differently. And to get this result, you have to recite these mantras and what we call meditate on them over and over. So you would need to what we call restrict the number of your affirmations. So this is an affirmation. Oh God, oh Supreme Lord, bless me with a healthy body with your grace. Oh Supreme Lord, let the doors of happiness open for me. Oh Supreme Lord, bless me with a long, healthy, prosperous, peaceful life. And finally, Om Agni Anume, Tanva Unam Tanva Aprina, the last line. Oh Lord, remove, because you have blessed me with a healthy body and a long life. This can only be accomplished when you remove from my body all ailments and weaknesses. So it's a beautiful way. Let's say if we forget the Sanskrit, I will just recite the Sanskrit, but let us forget it after I have recited it, and let us focus in the language that we are communicating in, which is this powerful mantra that engages the mind in the language that we understand together. Om Tanupayagniasi, recite with me, Tanvame Pahi. Om Ayurdaya Ganiyasi, Ayurmedehi. Om Varchodaya Ganiyasi, Varchomedehi. Om Agniyanume, Tanva Unam, Tanva Aprinam. So we have praised the Lord, and we have prayed today that, Lord, again, every morning do this mantra. Oh Lord, as you wake up, even before you come off your bed, touch your body nicely. Touch your face, touch your head, touch your ears, feel it, actually feel the ears, rub your nose, thanking the Lord. Oh Lord, make this body of mine healthy. Bless all of the organs. So you will have this and you can do that. And the final mantra for this evening is a beautiful mantra. So let us say now you do not know any mantra at all, but you need to know one. Then this is the mantra that you will take. I'm not too sure in this question what 1 second. So in the third line on our introduction, so what is one thing you will take on the desert island? We were talking about, the time come, you can only take one thing with you, right? It's either a material thing or a spiritual thing, but you can only take one thing with you. What is that one thing that you will take with you now? Remember, we all get the notice that we have to leave this earth in a few minutes. Your house doesn't matter, your car doesn't matter, nothing matters. So you have got to decide what is the one thing you will take with you. The one thing we should take with us is the one thing that is the lightest and is the most powerful. And this one thing that I will take, or I will advise you to take, is the ability to wish all well. Is this ability to give blessing to all. So when you take this, can you imagine now you're on this island, and this island have, let us say, 15 people. So it's the 15 of us here. And all of us now want Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kashit Dukha Bhag Bhave. So we are now on this island, and there's 16 of us, and we have all come now with good healthy body, and but we come with the intention that we are all going to work ceaselessly and selflessly for the happiness of each other. Is there anything more powerful? Now, I guess before you would have wanted to say, well, Panditji, I would take, I don't know, your smartphone, or I will take my book, or my car, whatever. But they are of no use when you're marooned on an island. What is very useful when you're marooned on this island of earth is when you work, when you have people who are what you call working to make you happy and prosperous. Isn't that interesting? So when we look at it, that let us say if we were all the members of a temple or a sabha or a sangha, and we were all working for each other happiness, then we will not have disharmony like what you have in all of the temples and mandirs in this country and in this world. Places of disharmony and disunity. So what I'm saying is that let us change our thoughts, that husband need to work for the happiness of his wife and his children and his grandchildren. Wife need to work for the happiness of the husband, children, grandchildren. The children then needs to work for the happiness of their mom and the dad, their children. So if everybody work and wish each other well, then we have a recipe for a successful social community. And so now, tonight main thing was just to engage in this one word, which is dhyana. All of us have, come across this word dhyana. And it is normally associated with meditation and yoga, going to the mandir, and therefore, because many of us are not inclined, so we do not get the benefit of dhyana or dhyanam. And it's a very, what we call divine concept, that if we understand it well, it means that we would be able to achieve all forms of success. Secondly, we will be able to avoid all forms of problems in our life. So when you do dhyanam, you're doing it with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But what you're doing, you're focusing on an impending event. You're focusing on something that you want to happen, and you're giving it all of your thoughts. The science of dhyanam was cultivated in the days when there was no smartphone, there was no telephone, there were no noisy children, but we were living in a peaceful community where it was easy to do what we call dhyanam. Now, as I said, this dhyanam, or this ability to focus, is a necessary part of a successful life. So where dhyanam is important, let us say if you're driving on the road and you're not focused, but you're looking at the text message, your eyes is moving left and right. The next thing you know, you're going to hear a bang. You're going to crash into somebody's car. You may cause an accident, but this is on a different level. Or let us say if you cooking in the kitchen, man or woman, but you're not paying attention to your pot, and then you go and leave, and you go check your message, you go and do something that you're not supposed to be doing. By the time you come back, we say the pot has burned because you left your focus. So if we take this further, it's not the pot will get burned, but your life will get burnt out because you did not have what we call a goal. You did not have a definition. And this is where we come back again. It's important to write down your attitude. It is important to write down what is your focus? What do you want out of life? What is the one thing that you will dedicate 10% of your day and each day to achieve? And some of you might say, but Panditji, I'm 270 or I'm 80 now. Um, that this is when it's even more important. When you're 70 or 80 and you genuinely, for whatever reason, never had a written down or a determined focus apart from bringing up, getting married, looking after the children, they are what you call automatic responses. They are subconscious responses. We want now a conscious response where we are not an autopilot, but we have to what we call dhyanam. We have to focus. We have to have deep concentration in order to be successful. On the route which we are going, we haven't used the word prayer. But when you focus on what you do, whether you're Arjuna, remember Arjuna did not have time to go to Mandir. Can you imagine if you go to Mandir what Duryodhan would have done to him? No, when you're in the battlefield fighting, you have to focus on the target of your arrow. And it's the same thing. When we're in this battlefield of life, you have to focus on everything so one does not lose track of anything. Where dhyanam is important is that if at a very young age, children are trained in the art of simple sitting down and meditation under a guided teacher. And this is proven now very much, let us say, in New York, in the poorer community where children from what we call unstable background was having a lot of problem. The moment what we call structured yoga was brought in, or structured meditation was brought in, it's amazing the change that is brought about to those little children's life. And those changes can be brought about to our life. And this is where going forward, this is what temples should do more. When we go to temple, we should have moments of quiet. We should have moments of deep meditation so we renew our spiritual energy. And it says, in modern society, it's very much on untidy focus. We don't have a chance to focus on one thing at a time because of the demand. All of the tech companies, and which is where the problem comes in. Anyone who has a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop will know what I'm talking about. How the tech companies, they use what we call algorithms in ensuring that you are trapped in moving from one web page to another, one Facebook feed to another, one WhatsApp or Instagram feed. In other words, we have become hooked and controlled, which is not good for our mental health and, in the worst case, our financial health. So coming back again, let us say now, why are we hooked? The reason why we are hooked on these things because we are not hooked on our own divinity. And this is where, because we have lost focus. So what the challenge here is that when we start to focus on our own self, then there is no chance of Google or Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp or whatever, keeping you away from your purpose. And this is where the power of mantra comes in. The power of loving the supreme energy that is responsible for your creation. Choose your mantra that matches your... One moment, let's go back. Choose a mantra that manages or matches your current need or your current desires, and focus on any of the above mantra to bring the result you wish in your life. Dhyan is with mind is focused attentively on the object. Constant and attentive remembrance of any of the name of the Supreme Lord in the realm of bhakti. This is what help focus. And it comes back again that look, we need something to hold on to that we know works. All of the scriptures tell us that look, let us give yourself focus on a mantra or a name, any name of that you're comfortable with, that you know would empower you and will calm you. So let us say if you are from a Sanatan background, you will choose the name of Rama or Krishna or Mataji or Bhagwan Shiva. Or if you're from what we call an Arya Samaj background, then you will meditate on Om. If you're from the background of, let us say, of our Sikh brothers and sisters, then you will meditate on the name of the Guru. And so you always have a name to meditate on that will keep your focus away from the things that distracts you. Dhyan is with mind, is focused attentively on the object. So our mind is always, we focus our mind now on our divinity, on God that is within us. Now, this is not inconsistent with you driving a car, working, because that is say if you're focused on your work in the office, the moment you go, you say Jai Shri Krishna, Om Namah Shivaya, and you bow down to the Lord and ask for a great day. You are going to be ensured that your mind becomes indistractable. So in the real world, how all of this matter in terms of our focus on God. And it's very nice, it is first story can be told in the form of a beautiful bhajan, which we all know. So let us just sing the first verse. It's Nadiya na piye kavi apna jal, vriksha na kaaye kavi apna phal. And it means, so the first way in order to ensure that we live this happy life is to start to share, is to start not to be selfish, because this creates a lot of anxieties. But let us live this life now and start to be benevolent with each other. So let us chant this beautiful song. I hope you can see it big enough. One moment. Let me change the color, because I think that color, we can't see that color. Beautiful. And then if I, okay. नदियाँ न पिए कभी अपना जल, वृक्ष न खाए कभी अपना फल. Again. नदियाँ न पिए कभी अपना जल, वृक्ष न खाए कभी अपना फल. अपने तन में मन को धन में, धर्म को ढूंढे ध्यान रे, वो सच्चा इंसान रे, एक धरती का भगवान. नदियाँ न पिए कभी अपना फल, वृक्ष न खाए कभी अपना फल. नदियाँ न पिए कभी अपना जल, वृक्ष न खाए कभी अपना फल. You know, because of the limitation of resources, very few of us have come into the habit of sharing what God has given us. And we have not learned from nature, although every day we receive the benevolence of nature. And what it is saying, have you ever seen a river drinking its own jala, its own water? Or have you ever seen a tree eating or withholding its fruits from us? And yet we as human beings, we are so what we call anti-sharing. Whether we as people, we as community, we as countries, we as societies, we as what you call political beliefs and political communities, we try really hard to steal and to take from other groups, not looking at nature and not understanding that we individually and we as a community can only make spiritual progress by sharing what we have a little bit. Do not be so silly and irresponsible as to give away everything that you have and you become poor as a result. because one of the laws of charity says is that you must not give so much charity that you become poor, then the whole world will despise you. Brothers and sisters, we become exceedingly rich by what we call giving a percentage of your pension, a percentage of your income to to this world or to charity. You may think, you will say, but Panditji, things are so difficult. When things are difficult, then that is when you need to give more. That is when you need to give that 10% more. The law is very specific. Those that share, more shall be given unto them. And those that withhold, even the little that they have, will be taken away from them. And this is a very powerful law of creating happiness in your home. Giving charity does not only give you financial wealth, but it protects you from misfortunes in this world. It protects you from ill health. It is one of the most overlooked but most powerful tool. So let us learn from this beautiful bhajan, Nadiya na piye kavi apna jal. Let us share this drop of water to someone through water aid or through charities or through, some homeless charity. Let us every month give, scatter your seeds of wealth broadly and widely, and your return on the fruits shall come back from many sources. And again, beautiful bhajan again, tum hi ho mata, pita tum hi ho bandhu, saka tum hi. O Supreme Lord, within this beautiful temple that you have given me, Lord, you are the source of sustenance. You're like a mother and a father to me. You are my only brother and sister. In moments of real need, you are the only friend I have. Not the one outside, but only by you inspiring me with the right thoughts to solve my problem, I would be able to cross this Bhausagar, this ocean of birth and death. Only I and I alone can do it. Bhagavad Gita teaches us very nicely in chapter 6, verse 5. By your soul, by your thoughts, you shall receive fortune. Or by the same soul and thoughts, you shall receive misfortune. It's up to you. In Ramayana, this beautiful discussion between Bhibhishan and Ravan. सुमति कुमति सबसे उर रहे सुमति कुमति सबसे उर रहे नाथ पुराण निगम अस कहीं जहाँ सुमति तह संपत्ति नाना जहाँ कुमति तह विपत निधाना जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम. Here devotees advise to all of us that let us think nobly, because it is said in the Ramayana, and these words are written in stone, they're eternal and they're very truthful. Jaha sumati taha sampati nana. Sampati means eternal happiness. Jaha kumati taha vipatanidana. Sumati means rightful and noble and righteous thinking. Kumati means when you think bad about someone, how you plot against them, how you threat against them, how you do all things against your family, your friends, your society. Jaha kumati taha bipat nidana. All forms of bipati, misfortunes, shall follow you. So we do not want to go the bipati route. Let us go the sumati route. Let us join satsang always. Devotees, I must move on very quickly. We have exactly 15 minutes more, And then you can see the nice picture on the screen. And this is the job that all of us should undertake. It's good that we all want to be an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever, a nurse, whatever your profession. But the best job you could ever choose for yourself is to become a wild animal tamer. You know, because do you think he stands a chance of survive? Look, you have the tiger crouching upon him. You have the jackal on the other side. You have a lion and you have the tiger again. What chance has he got unless he knows how to tame those animals and control those animals? Look at it carefully. So, what is this story all about? Devotees, 1 second. Okay. Let us go nicely so you get the gist of the story. As the story goes, there is a very young, strong young man. He wants to be a mountain climber, and he has, climbed many peaks before. So he now goes and he conquers one of the highest peaks in what we call Uttarakhand. Feeling very happy about himself, he then glances over the other peak. As he glances over the other peak, he sees a man. As he gets closer, now he comes down from his peak and he goes to see what the man is doing on the other peak. So as he goes on the other peak, he saw that this man is indeed a Swami, a Rishi, or a sage of that persuasion. So he went over after enjoying the thrill of his success and feeling very over the top, for want of another word. So then he went and he asked the Rishi. He says, Swami, Rishiji, what are you doing on this mountain all by yourself? And the Rishi said, well, I have a lot of work to complete before I return back to the plains. What an astonishing reply. Exact words, what are you doing? Remember, he's sitting down, he's meditating. It's just a paradox, How can you be working when you're just sitting down? But let's go on and hear the story. This was indeed puzzling and shocked the young man. Questioned what work? I do not see anyone or anything wrong. What work are you doing here to justify sitting in this yoga pose? Young people, again, always good at coming to the wrong conclusion, because, with youth, we believe we know everything. The sage replied, well, I hope these two cunning hawks, who always look for a pressure eager to land on, always look for a prey, eager to land on nasty places. I want to train and tame them in such a way that they can only go to good places. These two hawks are my fault-finding eyes. So I hope you're getting the gist of the story. Two of our greatest organs also lands us in serious problems, because we are so quick to see and judge and coming to the wrong conclusion. So we are now advised by virtue of our mantra prayers to let us use these God-given gifts. Om Vak Vak, Om Prana Prana, Om Chakshu Chakshu. So it's told, you're asking the Lord, bless my eyes, my intuition, that they may always be divine. Lord, Bhadram, Karnebi Shrunayama Deva, Bhadram Pashyema Kshabirya Jatraha, Stairangai Tushtavagum Shashnobi, Vyashema Devahitam Yadayu. Oh Lord, bless me. Shema, that I may see that which is holy, and my intuition may be sharp. So the sage replied, well, I hope these two cunning hawks who always look for a prey and they're eager to land on nasty places. So which means we want to clean out how we approach people. I also have to subdue these two mighty bears. They're always trying to snatch and attack. I need to train them, not just to take, but to give. These bears are my hands. And devotees, this is a wonderful picture of what happens to us when we have only greed, when for whatever reason we do not want to share what we have, but we want to take. The scriptures tell us that what you give, whenever you receive with one hand, please ensure you give out with the other hand. And the reason for that is we do not want to be like Scrooge. We do not want to create blockages in our life, because unless there is a flow of in and out of a pond, the water becomes stagnant. We want to be fresh. We want to be clean. We do not want to be like the bear ending up fighting among ourselves, because when you come to that stage that you do not want to give, your mind becomes corrupt. Your minds become devilish. Your minds become agitated, and you only end up hurting yourself. So let us always be kind. Follow the laws of charity. But the sage continued, I need to pacify the restless rabbits. These rabbits are always trying to avoid challenges and only go to places of comfort. These rabbits are my two legs. It's a wonderful analogy, but this doesn't apply to anybody on this screen tonight. But if you have an invitation to a party, or if you have an invitation to a drink up or a dance up or a jump up, you will find all the ways to go to that. But let us say if we had a good mandir to go, then everybody will find an excuse. I have to do my homework. I cannot go. The car is not working. The bus is not working. We will find all of the wrong reasons. But what the Rishi is saying, let us use our resources. In this case, our legs may be our car. Our legs may be our money to call an Uber. We can go on a cruise ship, but when it comes to pay a taxi fare to go to a puja, too expensive. Then finally, he said, then I have to control another organ of mine, which is a stubborn donkey. Procrastination is dangerous, devotees. We try very hard not to do the things that we want to do in life. So we need to control our urges. But the one which creates the worst problem for us is that, but of all of these beasts, the most vicious is the snake. And we know snakes are poisonous, isn't it? When you think of all of the organs of the body, which is the one that has landed you in the most trouble? It is no ordinary snake, for it spits venom and bites without warning, although caged. And this snake is my tongue. This toxic tongue spits out in the anger, harsh speech, criticism, and lies. And therefore, I wish to quell this deadly snake, and so that the venom of the spiteful tendencies can be neutralized. Devotees, many of you are not guilty of this, but we are surrounded by people who have what we call this poisonous weapon. Although it's closed in the mouth, oh gosh, it's so dangerous. It creates immense unhappiness by gossiping, by malicious arguments, by abusing and whatever. It says, by intelligently reflecting on our experiences, we can come to the realization that our senses often push us to the edge in regrettable acts. Indiscriminate sensual desires can trap us in addiction. and self-defeating thought patterns. Thus, it is recommended that we utilize our intelligence at every step. And manage and control our mind and rein in all the wild animals that resides within us. And devotees, this is a wonderful story. So if we have to make this progress in life, we have to be kind in our thought, our words, and our deed. Let us genuinely be a genuine person. Let us not be dishonest with ourselves in deceiving people, in saying bad things about them, in being very rude and insultive, because that's only bring you misfortune. And what is the recipe again? How do we avoid all of those things from destroying these beautiful temples of ours? The only way is to engage in the chanting of the name of that Supreme Lord. Let us chant. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye, jahe vidhi rakhe Ram, tahe vidhi rakhiye. Sing with me, please. Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye, jahe vidhi rakhe Ram, ताहे विधि रखिए. मुख में है राम नाम, राम सेवा हाथ में. मुख में है राम नाम, राम सेवा हाथ में. तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे, राम तेरी साथ में. तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे, राम तेरे साथ में. विधि का विधान जन हान लब सहिए, जाहे विधि रखे राम, ताहे विधि रखिए. जाहे विधि रखे राम, ताहे विधि रखिए. सीताराम सीताराम, सीताराम kahiye. Devotees, aate bhi Ram, jate bhi Ram, subah aur sham. Devotees, let us chant the Lord's name, whatever that name is, Ram, Sita, Krishna, or just God, 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 whatever your name you want to chant. Sita Ram, Sita Ram. Live happily in whatever manner. Whatever you do, even if you have the greatest form of unhappiness you're suffering now, let go of your unhappiness. Place it into the feet of Bhagwan Sri Ram and take his name. Ram, 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 Rameti, Rame, Rame, Manorame. Sahasranam Tatulyam, Ramanam Avaraname. The Lord's name, let that Lord, Mukha Mehe Ramanam. Rama tere haath mein, take that Lord's name as you work. Take his word. If you work with your hands, let your hand sing and meditate on the glories in your consciousness. You are not alone, dear one. Rama is with you. When you have the power of all of the creative energy of this world within you, where is the reason for your unhappiness? I know it takes time to accommodate Rama in your life or to accommodate God in your life. But from the moment you do so, your happiness would start to appear. Bear loss and gain, knowing all is the law of providence. Whatever comes to us in life, let us take it with a frame of mind. If it is good, let us enjoy it and protect it. If it is bad, let us use Rama name to get a solution. Boliya Syabaju Ramachandra ki jai, Umapati Mahadeva ki jai, Boliye Pavansata Hanuman ki jai. And devotees, today is very special in the sense that it's coming to an accommodation that this life in order to get the best out of life and to get a solution. It doesn't matter what your problem is. That problem cannot be bigger than the divine energy that created this world. So I would like to thank